How's everyone doing? All right, let's see. What did I miss in the chat? What did I miss in the chat? Walaikum salam. Walaikum salam. Please, I can't hear audio. Can everyone hear me? Type one if you can hear me. Okay, I saw a yes. Okay, very good. Very good. All right. All right. So guys, today, if you're new, I didn't share my screen yet. I just noticed you guys probably can't see my screen. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Share screen. All right, can everyone see my screen now? Okay, very good. All right, guys. Um, so so far, so far, this is gonna be week 11. Now, if you haven't been following us so far, this might be a little uh difficult to understand, but no worries. Like I always say, right? Perhaps every week there's one new person that's joining. Just make sure you find the time to watch the previous videos, or if you have taken an AWS course somewhere before, or maybe your AWS Solutions Architect Associate Certified, you know, it should be easy, right? You should be able to follow easily. This will just be, more like review for you. But the goal of these sessions is for us to make sure we do some hands-on. Now, for those of you that are in my Telegram channel, remember I said if you are able to afford it, right? If you're able to get a custom domain name, and I sent a video to show how to create, buy your own domain, right? I sent a video that I found on YouTube. I thought was good. Let me just see. Did anyone get their own domain, or you guys just want to watch me do it? Did anyone buy a domain on AWS? At least you can be using that to test. Okay, Ronnie has a domain. Okay, very good. Anybody else apart from Ronnie? Bought it an hour ago, but it might take some time though, for it to be released for you to use. It's ready now. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and test and see. So now, what I want us to do is at least let's have a web server first. Okay. So with this session, I think I would like to take this to maybe 2 or 3 sessions. Okay. Because what we're gonna do today is like the basics, so you actually know how to get this done if you need to. Okay, but in the next week or the following week, hopefully we can finish it next week. Make it secure, right? Everything from there on will be using HTTPS. Okay, we want to make sure. But today we're gonna use HTTP. Okay, we're just gonna create a web server. Make sure it's working. We can access it via the web using the EC2 long URL that we don't usually like, but we have to use it to test anyways. So, but now today we want to use our own custom domain name, right? So we're gonna use our own custom domain name and just like put like our custom domain and see if it will take us to our web server. Okay, that's the goal. I have a domain from GoDaddy. There's a way you can actually bring your domain from third parties into AWS. I would recommend you Google it. Yes, you can bring your domain from others. But again, if you're a new company, or if you're working for a company and it's your decision to make, I would say just keep things easy. Just buy it in AWS. Okay, it just makes integrations very easy. Like it saves you a lot of I won't say a lot of headache, some headache. It saves you some headache. But yes, you can bring from third parties. Okay, but it's always easier if AWS provides it. Just get it from AWS. Trust me, it'll make your life easier. All right, guys. So we have in S3, like we normally do, we have our bucket, right? This is actually another test account I created, uh, just to use my domain that I already have from previous lessons that I teach. Um, Now I have this bucket here. Some of you guys remember this bucket that we use to host our website, right? Now this is the static one. I know I haven't uploaded the dynamic one, but no worries. Just use your own static code that you have in there. Again, if you're new, this might sound a little like, what is he talking about? watch the previous sessions, and then it'll all make sense. Okay. So let me get a 5 in the chat. How many of you have a static website in your S3 bucket? You have a static code you can use today. How many of you have a static code? Okay. All right, good. If you've been following so far, you should. Okay, very good, very good. All right, so I'm just gonna use this. Okay, now think about this as the goal, right? Usually, your company builds a new application. Hey, the code is in S3. That's the code. We have it there in S3, right? Let's open it. What does it have? Our developers put all of this together to create a website that we're gonna see when we put this on a web server. So it's our job as a solutions architect, draw an architecture of how we're gonna go from here onto a web server, and then when we do that successfully, our end users should be able to go to a website and see that new application that our company has developed, right? So we're assuming now that we're in a company like we've always assumed. Our developers are done with writing the code. That's all they care about, right? Customers are always asking for features. Your company wants them to always focus on, building new features, making sure, like no bugs or anything on the website, fixing all of that and all of that. But we were the solutions architects, or the cloud engineers. Hey, take this, get it up and running, make sure it's secure, right? And other aspects of it, maybe migrations and things like that, right? So now the code is here. What do we want to do now? Let's go to EC2 console, okay? Let's go now to EC2 console. So I'm going to go to AWS here. Actually, I want to leave that page and then open a new tab. So I'm going to open a new tab. I'm going to open a new tab, and then I'm going to go to EC2. Okay, I'm going to go to EC2. Okay, I'm going to go to EC2. Don't worry, I already have one server running. I was using that to test earlier. We're going to create a new one, okay? So just click on instances here. Let's click on instances. Launch instances. Let's go ahead and launch instances. Go ahead and select this. Select. T2 micro. Yes, is what we want. Guys, let me go back. Don't forget, Amazon Linux 2 is what we, cancel. What is that? Launch instances again. Amazon Linux 2 is what we want, guys. Okay, please make sure you choose this. Linux 2, Amazon Linux 2. Okay, select. Okay, once we select, configure can we use our AMI we created? You can use your AMI. I mean, if you know what you're doing, yes, you can use your AMI that you created. All right. Let me go ahead now and click on configure instance details. Okay, so yes, I want one. I'm going to use my default VPC. Okay. And then now I'm going to choose 1A just to keep things easy for me to know where I'm putting stuff. 1A. Okay, I'm going to choose 1A. IAM role, SSM, and S3. You should all have that if you've been following throughout all of these weeks. Shutdown behavior. Shutdown behavior, we want to terminate. Okay, when we shut down this server, we actually want it to go away completely. We don't want it anymore. In your real life environment, maybe that's not what you want. Okay, maybe you just want to stop it maybe it's a testing server. You really don't want to terminate. You just want to stop it for a few days or so. Then you can just make sure you put this shutdown behavior as stop and not as terminate. If you terminate, that means gone completely. Okay, but of course, in this case, we can terminate. All right, what else, guys? What else? And then now let's paste our code that makes it easy. The one I gave you guys, remember? To make things easy for us. Instead of launching this server and then going into the server and then like updating Linux and installing Apache and all that. Where's the code? Here, I already put the name of my bucket. So don't forget, guys, change the name of your bucket. Make sure you put the name of your bucket, okay? Make sure this matches. Okay, copy this. It already matches, but I'm just doing this again for you guys. Okay. Delete that. Okay, guys. And then I'm going to copy all of this. And then I'm going to put it in my wizard. Man, we've done this thing over and over and over again. You guys should be like geniuses, like in like launching web servers now. I'm pretty sure, right? This is like a common task we've been doing in all of the weeks. All right. What else, guys? Add storage. 8 gig is fine. Add tags. Let's call it name. Let's call it web server. I'm gonna put 1 because I already have web server. You don't have to put 1. You can just put web server if you don't have a server named web server. Configure security group. Let's create a new security group. Let's call this test custom domain. Okay. Description. Test custom domain. SSH. I'm on VPN again. Don't worry if you see my IP, it's gonna change. HTTP to anywhere. We want the whole world. Remember? And some of you remember. I know you guys are security gurus now, right? I taught you guys, how to, ELB, and then ELB. You only allow ELB to the web server and all that good stuff. Okay, but we're not doing all that now. Okay, now we just want to see if this will work. We're using our custom domain. What else, guys? Let's allow HTTPS as well, although we're not using HTTPS at this point. So anywhere. Okay. So now click on review and launch. Okay, click on review and launch. Okay, click on launch. I have another key pair I created earlier, but if you have your own key pair, choose your own key pair. Okay, choose your own key pair and then go ahead and click on launch instances. Before I click on launch instances, who is with me so far? Type the number 3 if you're with me so far. Type the number 3 if you're with me so far. Good. You guys know I like to see that. Good, good, good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Love that. That's a lot of 3s. Okay, let's move on. Launch instances. Okay, it's launching. It's launching. It's launching. Okay, my instance is launching. And as you guys know, I like to wait for the status check here to be 2 out of 2. I like to wait for that status because sometimes, even if it doesn't, if you don't see 2 out of 2 here, it will still work. But sometimes it doesn't. So let's just wait and see if that will work. Okay, and see if that will work. All right, in the meantime, what can we do? In the meantime, what can we do? Route 53. Okay, Route 53. All right, so let me go ahead and open link in new tab. Let me just duplicate. Let me duplicate this tab. Okay, let's go to Route 53. And make sure that we have our domain all set up. All right, where's my Route 53? Route 53. I used it earlier. Route 53. I hope you guys, before I even say Route 53, you guys, maybe for some of you that are new, let's do this. I think we still have some time. Where's my whiteboard? Where's my whiteboard? Okay, start drawing. All right, guys. You guys remember, right? You guys remember? In this case, we're keeping things simple because we just want to see how to use a custom domain. Right now, we have a web server. Please pardon my drawing. Okay, and remember, your web servers always have that hard disk, EBS, right? And then we put it in AZ1A, right? AZ1A, right? And then don't forget, it's in a region. Never forget that. Okay, if you're in an interview, make sure you put that region. Okay, so and then we're using our what? Northern Virginia region, right? Now, now when we launch this server, we'll get a long name, right? EC2, a long DNS, EC2 dot IP address dot all of, right? And then if we want to test, we'll go to our browser, right, and plug in that long URL into our browser, and then we'll see our website, right? And also don't forget, right? Public subnet, right? We put this in our public subnet. Public subnet. Okay. Now we don't want to use this long URL anymore. You guys are following. We don't want to use this anymore. We want something customized for our new application, right? Let's say it's a website where you sell shoes or you sell clothes, right? You want it to be, for example, your name.com, right? So in this case now, what you need for that is Route53 to help you route from your custom name.com to what? To map it to this IP of this machine. Okay? To map it to this IP of this machine so that when your customers, are you following, guys? When your customers are coming from around the world, let's say there's 1 million of them. Of course, you're not going to use one server for 1 million customers, right? Depending on how powerful the machine is. So your customers now, instead of you giving, nobody ever does this, right? For a real production application, right? Especially if it's something public facing. If it's internal, I can understand maybe for some testing purposes, right? But something that's commercial, that's, that brings your company money and all that, right? Oh, you want me to add VPC? Sure, we can add VPC. That VPC, a good point. So VPC, let's add VPC. Someone mentioned VPC. Yeah, is within the VPC. And remember when we launched ours here, we used the default VPC. So good. In an interview also, although I skipped it, I'll recommend, yes, put it, okay? Show that you know exactly what you're doing. Put a VPC, okay? And say you're launching this server inside of a public subnet in your own in your VPC or on a default VPC. Remember, we created our own custom VPC before. Don't forget that. But in this case, in this example today, I'm using a what do you call it? The default VPC, okay? All right. So where was I? So now if your customers want to come to your website, okay, Route53 is taking care of what? Using a custom domain that you already have. Maybe you bought it from Route53 itself, or you bought it from another third party and you brought it into Route53. Okay? So Route53 now will do what? Route53 is the service, right? It's the service that will take people to this server. Why? Will it take them to the server? Because you would have told Route53 that this is the IP of the server you should take them to. If someone tries to come to what? My custom domain name.com, take them to this IP, right? 192.168. blah, 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 right? So Route53 will then now take them to what? To whatever you have running on that web server. Okay? Type the number 9 if that makes some sense. Type the number 9. Good. All right. Just 2 number 9s? Okay. All right, guys. You guys scared me there. Okay. All right. So that's how it works, guys. In real life, you would never... Well, let me show you what I'm talking about in the console as well. Right now, the web server says is complete. Let me refresh and see if I have 2 out of 2 checks. Okay, 2 out of 2 checks. Right? Now, if I check this now, in real life, you don't want to give people this and say, this is our website, go to our website. Okay? Nobody does this. You want something that's customized for you. That's why you buy a domain, right? One of the most popular ones out there is GoDaddy, right? You buy a domain. You buy something custom to your name and all that, right? So I already have one. Usually when I teach local classes once in a while, here in my local communities, I've had one domain that I bought before for that, so that's what I'm going to use now. So where is it? Let me go to okay, I showed you guys this. I just showed you guys this, right? Now let's test, actually, before we go to Route53. Let's test to even see if it'll work, right? Let's test to see if it'll work. Fingers crossed. Let me push this all the way back. Let me paste it. Okay, works. Number 5, if it works for you. Is a VPC a must for every project you do? Yeah. It depends though. If you're gonna use servers or some specific services, it'll tell you to choose what VPC you want to use with them. But some services you don't need a VPC. So if I'm answering your question correctly, not all AWS services you need to use a VPC for. Okay, but if you need to launch a server, you need to use other services like ECS, EKS, things like that. It'll ask you for VPC to use. Okay, that is your own network that you want to use. All right. Otherwise, everyone has a default VPC they can always use as well. Okay. I recommend you watch the video on VPC that we did a while back. I don't know. I think that's week 7 or week 8, something like that. All right, guys. Number 5, if that works for you guys, you're able to see your website, our sample website. Beautiful website, right? Anybody? Are you all still waiting? Let me get the number 5 in the chat. Number 5 in the chat. If you have your website up and running. Okay, Rotimi, Aminu, who else? Ayodeji, Olayemi, who else? And you guys are like, why is he saying my name so correctly? Yes, I'm Nigerian if you're new to the channel. I'm Nigerian if you don't know. Okay, Ayodeji, Olayemi, who else? Who else? Who else? Any number 5s? Let me get 2 more number 5 if you're following. Come on, there are 30. How many people are on this call? There are 33. Okay, that's too good. One more person and then we'll move on. One more. Any more yeses that, okay, you're following, you got this website up. Come on, 33 people. One more person. All right, good, good. Ayodeji like, I was shocked the way you called my name. Yes, so I've been Niger boy. Okay, all right. What else? What else? Okay, so great job, guys. You have this up and running. Now your company says, we have to use something custom. We've done a great job, right? This is gonna go live, right? This is gonna go live. So we want you to use a custom name for us. We're not gonna tell our customers to go to EC2 524. No. Something custom, okay? So I did have some custom one I bought a while back, right? So let me go now and so I opened a new tab, right? I can close this S3 tab. I can close this as well for now. Now, click on AWS here. Now let me go to where would I go to, guys? Who can tell me in the chat? I want to make my domain custom. I want to make that EC2 domain, long domain custom. Where do I go? This is a very easy question. Type. You gotta participate, guys. Exit 53. Good. Route 53. Okay, so let's do that. Don't worry if you did not buy a domain. I know it can be, especially for some of you in other countries, it might be expensive. Don't worry, you can follow along. If you're able to buy it, that's good. If you're not, don't worry, you can just watch the video and follow. I know it's about $12 a year. Okay, it's $12. Am I right? $12 a year, right? Yeah, a year. It's not a month. A year. Yeah, it's $12 a year. So for a whole year, you're gonna own that domain name, and you can use it for, and you can put anything in the back of it, to host. So $12.99. Okay, $12.99 a month. Okay, all right, cool. So I'm gonna go to Route 53. So this is Route 53, is where I want to go to. So guys, I'm gonna need you guys to help me out here. Okay, I had to change my NS record. Okay. NS records are very, very important when you create your hosted zones. Okay. When you create your hosted zones, you get what we call NS records. These are servers that are, I don't know how to describe it. They point your end users to your server. They help in that traffic, right? To go to different servers and help you get to your end server. Okay. It's just part of the servers along the way that will help in getting to your destination, right? So in this case, I changed mine this morning. So mine might not work, okay? But if you follow the same steps, I was told that I need to wait and check my email later. I don't know how long this takes, but they said they will let me know once they update my NS records that I changed for my domain, okay? But for some of you that already have yours, I'm gonna look in the chat and tell you to tell me yes if it works for you, okay? So if mine does not work, if it still doesn't work yet, I'm checking my email. I haven't seen anything, but I'm still going to test. The email might be delayed or something, but we're still going to test and see, okay? Bundles of other servers that point traffic to our server, right? Yes. What else? Where was I, guys? Okay, so some of you, I'll ask in the chat, so please make sure you're doing this, especially those of you that told me that you bought your own domains, okay? All right. So I'm going to click on hosted zones here. Okay. So I have this hosted zone. This is what my custom domain is. Yes, certified AWS.com. Okay. I'm going to copy that. So at the end of the day, guys, this server right here, whatever I put on this server, you guys saw that website, right? That grayscale server. If I put this in my browser, at some point, it should work. Okay, that's the goal. We never want to use this anymore, especially if we're going to production. We don't want to give I think I've repeated this a million times. This is not what we want, and you guys understand why, right? We're not giving our customers this. We want to give them this. Like, hey, here's the website where we're selling our shoes, or we're selling our, courses, or we're selling our clothing, or whatever you want to sell, right? Or it's a website that just does something for other companies. Right, so this is the custom domain that we want to use. Right, so now I'm gonna if you have created your what's it called? If you go to dashboard, if you bought a domain, you will see it here. If you bought multiple domains, you see them here. I only have one, right? And I'm guessing most of you have one as well. So I have just one domain. Okay, I've registered. I bought it a long time ago. Okay, now go to hosted zones. If you don't have hosted zones at all, they're very easy to create. Okay, you need these hosted zones. Although, yes, so follow carefully, guys. Although, yes, you have your domain here showing that you have one domain registered, you need a hosted zone to start putting resources behind that name. Okay, you need services. You need a hosted zone to start putting services behind that. Great to be here. Today's my first time, but I haven't gotten to Route53 training. Okay, good to know, Faith. I'm still learning VPC. That's good. Don't worry. Once you catch up on all of the videos, trust me, every week will be a breeze. You'll be able to catch up on there. That's what I tell everyone every week, because I know every week I perhaps have 1 or 2 new persons joining. Okay. But don't worry, also in the description of this video, you see the link to every other link you need. Okay, the YouTube playlist, the Telegram channel, which you must join, guys. If I cancel these classes, as you guys know, some of you perhaps were here last week, you didn't know that the class was canceled. If you're part of the Telegram channel, it now has over 2,500 subscribers. Okay, and my Telegram channel was featured on a Sentinel-1 article. I know you guys saw all that in the Telegram channel, but anyways, it's a growing channel. Join it so that you get updates on me canceling these classes, maybe because of some things I need to take care of, or what else, daily quizzes, cybersecurity and cloud quizzes every day, right? I don't like to spam people on that channel. At least 3 messages a day. 2 of them will mostly be quizzes, one in cybersecurity and one in cloud computing, usually AWS for now. Okay, thank you, Rotimi. Yep, thank you. All right, guys, the quizzes are my favorite. That's good to know. So yeah, like I said, the channel is not a channel to just spam you guys. It's everyday small bite-sized learning. Okay, 2 quizzes. Try to keep your knowledge current, right? Especially as all these cloud companies are adding more and more services and new certifications. All right, guys, so that's that. So let me just show you guys. I already have one hosted zone, right, that I created. Let me just show you. Just click on create hosted zone. Okay, I'm not going to create it again. Okay, really great, Faith. Thank you, Faith. So guys, here you guys saw what I clicked on, right? Let me go back again. Create hosted zone. Again, I already created mine. I'm not going to create this again, okay? And then all you just need to do is put the domain name that you bought. Okay, guys? Put the domain name that you bought in this hosted zone that you're creating. Okay, put the domain name. So that will be yescertifiedaws.com. Right? And then you put a description. You can say this is for our shoe selling app. Okay, or whatever app that is that your company just built. Just put a description there. Okay, it's optional. You don't have to put anything there. Okay, is it public? Yes, it is. It is for the public. Okay, private is if it's for your internal company, right? It's an internal domain, right? And then you can add a tag if you want, and then you will click on create hosted zone. And it's that easy, guys. You have your hosted zone in that hosted zone console. Right now I'm going to click on cancel. Now I'm going to ask you guys, tap the number 3 if you have a hosted zone created. Let me give you guys 1 minute. Maybe you're still doing it. Okay, Aminu has. Anybody else? So now I know who to ask if it worked or not, if mine does not work. Okay, Aminu, Rotimi, Ronnie, good, Ronnie. Okay, who else, guys? Anybody? So 3 people. Okay, that's fine. Moving on. All right, guys. Now I'm gonna open this. Okay, I'm gonna click on this. Okay, now I'm gonna click on this. Once you create your hosted zone and you open it, look at what I did again, guys. Look at what I did. I just click on it. I'm just gonna click on it. Okay, I clicked on it. Now it's opened. Okay, now guys, what I want you guys to understand, to see now is you're gonna get this too. At any time you create a hosted zone, you're gonna get this too. NS record and SOA record. What is SOA again, guys? Standard of authorities, something of authority. I forgot. If someone knows, put it in the chat. If someone remembers or knows, put it in the chat, please. So NS and SOA, just keep that in mind. You always have these two created for you. Okay. Now, this, guys, here's what I was talking about. This has to match. Now, this might, if you don't know this might, cause a lot of headache tomorrow. If you're trying to set this up and you're like, why is it not working? Why is it not working? Guys, I have to tell you something. When you create a hosted zone, this record, you need to add it to where? Look at what I'm doing, guys. All of this, if you copy this, go to dashboard, it has to match what you have in your domain. Okay, it has to match what you have in your domain. Okay, it has to match what you have in your domain. Okay. That's a lot of information. I forgot. I shouldn't have. Well, you guys didn't see anything. Okay, domain, but I trust you all. I trust you all anyway. Okay, guys. Hosted zones. Okay, hosted zones. Start of authority. There you go. I mean, it's start of authority. Okay, guys. Where was I? So dashboard. Make sure your NS record matches what you have in your domain. All right, let's go back to hosted zone, guys. Let's go back to hosted zones. Where is it? So yes, click back on here, the one hosted zone that we have. Click on the hosted zone that we have. And again, we have this. Now let's connect our web server to it. Yes, be sure to crop it out. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. So of course, and my NS records as well, I'll change them after this session. Okay. So guys, let's connect this to our web server. What are we gonna do now? Let's create a record. Okay, so everybody go ahead and click on create record. Okay, go ahead and click on create record. Okay, now we're gonna choose simple routing record. Okay, now some of you might be on this screen, so I'm gonna switch real quick. Don't do what I'm doing. If you have this screen, don't do what I'm doing. Okay, switch to quick create. Okay, switch to quick create. Some of you might have this on your screen, but I don't want you to use this. Okay, to use quick create. All right, I don't want you to use this. Use this. Switch to wizard. All right, switch to wizard and then choose simple routing. All right, for now we're gonna go with simple routing. Okay, go ahead and click on next. Okay, go ahead and click on next. All right, now once you do that, you want to define a simple record. What we're saying with a simple record is, if someone tries to go to my website, my custom website, just take them to my server. Okay, there are other simple routing is a type of routing policy, right? And just like the name implies, it's simple. You go to my custom domain, I take you to my web server. Okay, you go to my custom domain, I take you to my web server. That's all I'm doing. Okay, there are others whereby depending on where the person is coming from, you have 2 servers, one for people coming from London and another for people coming from the US, right? So you're able to use Route 53 to say, okay, if depending on where the user is coming from, geographical location, take them to server A. If they're coming from London, take them to server B. Okay, but for now today, guys, we're going to use simple routing policy. Okay, we're going to use simple routing policy. All right. Where is it? All right, guys, define simple record. That's a lot so far. Who is following me so far? Tap the number 5. Tap the number 5 if you follow me so far. We're almost done. Very good, very good. All right, now define simple record. Define simple record, okay? So now what we want to do here is we're going to leave this, okay? So that when we go to this website, it'll take us to our what? To our server that is running on this machine right here. All right, it'll take us to that server. But we're going to do another one where we're going to add www as well, okay? But we're not going to do that now. Let's just do this plain one first, okay? Let's do this plain one first, okay? What is it going to point to, guys? You can point to your API gateway. If you have a CloudFront, can point to a CloudFront, Elastic Beanstalk. Let me see, which one are you guys even more familiar with here? Load balancers, okay? If you have a load balancer, you can point this to your load balancer as well. But today, what do you think we're going to choose, guys? What are we going to choose in the chat real quick? What are we going to choose? IP. We're going to choose IP. Okay, we're going to directly connect to our what? We're going to choose our IP, a match to our IP address. Okay, so we're going to match it to our IP address of this server. Okay, of this server. So get that public IP. Okay, get that public IP, and then put it here. All right, put it here. Okay, put it there. Are you following so far, guys? Get the IP of the EC2. All right, not this one, not this DNS. Get the public IP of the EC2 and then put it in here. All right, put it in there. And then you want to choose what? A record, route to an IPv4 address and some AWS resources. So in this case, we just want to route it to our what? To our web server's IP. All right, so when people go to that custom domain, they'll be able to what? See whatever is on this server. Okay, whatever application we have running on this server. Again, this is a simple type routing policy. We're probably going to do the other ones in the coming weeks. Okay, but small, simple things first. Okay, baby steps. All right. What else, guys? What else, guys? What else, guys? Record type, a record. Okay. For this one, 300 seconds is a little too much for me. I want to put 260. Okay. The amount of time in seconds that DNS resolvers and web browsers cache the settings in this record. Okay, so if you change it tomorrow, you at least give it 60 seconds again before it'll catch up to the update that you have. All right, so define simple record. All right, go ahead and click on define simple record. Okay, create records, guys. Okay, like I said, I want to create another one. Okay, I'm going to create another record. Before I do that, let me see if you guys are following me so far and you have your first record. Do you see my record now showing, guys? A record. You see that? Simple. Routing directly to our endpoint here, our server. Give me the number 9 if you're following. We're almost done. Number 9 in there. Number 9. Very good, very good. Rotimi, Ayodeji, are you guys following? Who else? Number 9. Okay, good. All right. Is Sylvia here? Sylvia, are you here on this call? These are popular names I see on this. Amani, good. Is Hiba here? I think her name is Hiba as well. Sylvia, I guess Sylvia is not here. Hiba is not here. All right. Moving on. Oh, Sylvia is here. Good. Welcome, Sylvia. Let me add. Following along. Good. All right. Let's create another record, guys. Again, simple. Next. Okay, next. Define simple record. Now I want to put this as well. For some reason, you just have to do this. Okay. From what I've been seeing so far, and some of you can chime in on the chat if you're more familiar with this. But so far that I've been working with this, some browsers will add this for you, right? And then try to take you to that. But if you don't have a record for this, it's not gonna work. Okay, you're gonna get an error message. So usually you want to add this in here and create it as a record as well. Okay, so some servers, some web browsers, if you type this, yes certified, they'll automatically add this for you, right? And in that case, you don't have a record for this, so it's not gonna work. Okay, so let's create a record for that. So in case a browser, we'll put this in a browser and it automatically adds this, it'll still work. Okay, we have a record for that pointing to our server. All right. So again, add www there and then put IP. Put IP. Say you want to address this to an IP that we have for a server. Copy that. paste it, and then yes, it's an A record, and then A because it's routes on IPv4. Okay, for the other ones, we're gonna cover some of them. You don't need to know about all of them. Some of them are just beyond the scope of what you should know, unless you're really into networking and all that. Then some of this might you might need this in some implementation at some point in the future. But I barely see people use this. Okay, so all right, A records. And then let me put this as 60 as well. Okay, let me put this as 60. Okay, define simple record. Define simple record, and we're done. Create record, and we're done. Create record, and we're done. Okay, all right. So we have that. If someone does this, it goes. If someone does this, it goes. Before I test mine, guys. Who has done theirs and it works? Who has tested and it works? You bought a custom domain. You've done everything so far. Maybe we should give it another few seconds because we said 60 seconds, right? Aminu, did it work? It works. Okay, there you have it. Okay, it works. That is good to know. That is good to know. Let me test mine. Again, I don't know if they've updated my DNS records, but let's see. Still doesn't work. Yeah. Let me see this. I'll give you a few more seconds for mine and see if it'll work later on. Not found. Rotimi also is not working yet. So for Aminu, it worked. For me, it is not working yet. Let me just go here. Let me move this screen here, guys. Just let me check something in my domain and see maybe if it's updated or not. That's all the hands-on for today, guys. That's all the hands-on for today, guys. The next thing will be what you call it? The next thing will be Q&A. Okay. So I think we can start the Q&A now while I still look at this and make sure it matches what I have. Okay. So only 2 questions today, guys. I have about 10 minutes, so only 2 questions. Career-related question. Okay. Usually I don't recommend troubleshooting questions, but you can ask, and if I can help you out with that, I will. But otherwise, I like it to keep it to career-related questions. Okay. So first 2 people to unmute and ask their question. First person, let's go. It could be a question about what we did today. Okay, it could be a question about what we've done today so far. If you're talking, you might be on mute. I can't hear you. Otherwise, I will assume no questions for today. And everything was just easy to follow, right? Nothing was confusing. Where's my chat? Question. Okay, I still go ahead and ask your question. I see you tapped questions. Can I share my link? Aminu, yeah, share. Let me see. Share. Yeah. Aminu, share a link. Let me test it here on my browser for everyone and see if we have Grayscale. If we have that website on there. Aminu, wait, before you share your link with us, are you using my test website? Okay, all right. Okay, share it then. Okay. Just making sure. Okay. All right, guys. So let's test Aminu's. Okay, Aminu's works. All right. So that's Aminu said we can share his website. So let's go ahead and test. It works, guys. Do you see where we're at? So Aminu has been following this website, this lab so far, and as you can see, guys, it works for him. Okay. I'm looking at my own NS records to see why perhaps I haven't. I guess they haven't updated it. Like I told you, they sent me an email saying when we update it, we'll let you know. So I'm guessing I just want to go and double check now and see have they updated it or not. Does it match what I have in my domain? 1455. Good job at Aminu. Yes, good job at Aminu. Who else, guys? I remember, I think Rotimi also said he was following. Rotimi, don't worry, you don't have to share your URL. It's fine. Just let me know if it worked for you or not. I think you said it didn't work earlier. Who else worked? Apart from Aminu. Okay. Mine did not work. Astu did not work. Okay. It might be something to do with the NS records. Okay. Just give it some time as well. Give it some time as well. Okay. I'm just cross-checking my own NS records here. 1455493. 1455493. Okay. Let me see. Yeah. Or did someone take my NS records and use it? Give me 1 second, guys. There's a Google DNS tool that you can use to check. Let me just test something real quick. It shows that it maps. Security. Oh, guys, are you guys seeing something here? Where's my chat? I'm sorry to ask this question. Where can I find the past videos? I'll share it in the video. I'll share it in the video description. When I upload this video, you guys will see it in the video description. Okay? You guys will see it in the video description. All right?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
I think when you clicked on that link, it will automatically add HTTPS or HTTPS, so it wouldn't open. That was what happened. No, I mean when you clicked on your EC2, the
Okay, so let me. No, I don't. It doesn't have HTTPS. Yeah. So here's what I think is happening, guys. Who is this? Who's talking? Aminu. Oh, Aminu, did yours work? Oh, yeah. Yes. Why am I asking? Aminu, are you Hausa?
Fulani.
Oh, Fulani. Do you speak Hausa?
Yes, very well.
Kana jin Hausa sosai? Dan uwa?
Abba!
Sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. It's just one of the languages I speak from Nigeria. I speak Yoruba. I speak Hausa fluently. So, good to know. That's good to know, Aminu. Okay. Are you from all the way from Nigeria, or you're in the US?
No, Germany.
Germany. The kill. All right, guys. Let me quickly test. So I think I know what's wrong with mine. Okay. Here's my security group. Let me go to my security group. Edit inbound rules. Okay, HTTP is open. HTTPS is open. Okay, I don't see anything wrong here. Security group name, test custom domain. Okay. What else could be the problem? If this does not work, that's why it's probably not loading, because it's not seeing that. I thought I tested earlier and it showed me my website. Like, again, don't worry, guys. I don't want to keep you guys here testing this all day, but let me just do this again and see. Okay, that works. What about if I use the IP? Like I told you guys, okay, I'll be doing labs sometimes and it won't work straight away. Okay, it won't work straight away. Troubleshooting is part of these sessions. Okay, troubleshooting is part of these sessions. We troubleshoot together. Okay, we share ideas, right, and fix. Because
you do AWS lookup to see if you
yeah,
A record.
Yeah, I did.
It's all about translate the.
Yeah, so I actually did on the side. That was what I was doing on the side. So Ronnie is one of our advanced users on these calls. I don't want to configure guys too much, but if I test my website here, let's see, Verizon, yes, let's see if you're. And don't worry again, guys. I'm gonna change everything. So it says it sees it. Okay, is it gonna work now? Since it's also working on that thing. Not found. All right, mine is still not working. But again, guys, I'll troubleshoot this. Or if anyone, Ronnie, any ideas? What could be wrong? I don't want to keep you guys waiting here.
I think networking wise, nothing wrong. Maybe you add a slash index HTML.
Yeah. No, let's see this.
HTTP.
Nginx. I've seen this error before, but no worries, guys. I don't want to keep you guys too long. But as you know, for others it worked. Mine, it did not work, but don't worry, guys. Next week I'll let you know exactly what I did to fix it. This might take me like a couple of minutes to fix. Again, I'm probably sure because I changed my NS records. I see that it looks updated, but maybe it hasn't gone across all of the servers it needs to go to first. All right. So my IP does work. It does work. Okay, it does work. Let me go check my Route 53 again. Just one last thing. Let's just see one last thing and see if where is it? Okay, I have my hosted zone. Is it mapping to the IP? Yes, certified.com. Okay. Yeah, it's the same IP. It's the same IP. Okay. All right. Mr. Someone speaking German. Okay. Oh, someone else speaks German in here. All right, guys. Thank you guys for joining this session. I hope you learned something. Although we didn't get the final result that we wanted. But again, guys, don't worry. Next week, I will show you guys perhaps what's causing me. Again, it worked for some of you guys on the chat. And if you're watching this video later on, it might actually work for you. Don't worry about mine for now. Again, it's probably because I changed my NS records, okay? Which I'm also going to change later on today because you guys have seen these NS records. And for security reasons, it's not good to show your NS records to the world, okay? So, but for testing reasons, I'll change it again and then see if what I fixed.
Site is showing up in my browser. Yes, certified AWS.com showing the homepage.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay, I want you guys to do this right now. Let me put it in the chat. Okay, I want you guys to test. I want you guys to test. All of you. I want to see in the chat. It worked.
It's working.
It's working, but it's not working for me. Wow.
Maybe you use a Cognito.
Yeah, that's what I. Yeah. Let me try a Cognito browser. How about that? Let me try that. Let me try that. Incognito. Oh, maybe it cached it when I was testing it earlier. It cached it. Yes, certified.aws.com. Fingers crossed.
Click on the link, Kabir. Hold on, click on the link.
Yes.
Which link?
Click on the link first. No, the link, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay, yeah. What's wrong?
Yes,
Let me give you my any spelling wrong or.
Okay. All right. Here's let me try Firefox. Let me try Firefox. I mean, if it's working for you guys, my stuff is working for you guys. And it's not working. All right.
I just accessed your page from Canada.
Look at that. Okay, let me turn off my VPN, guys. I'm using VPN. Okay, so let me turn it off. You guys, if this works, this is something to put in your notes. Okay, VPN might be the issue. So now, guys, what I'm doing is let me go and turn off my VPN and test. Okay. Let me go turn off my VPN and test. Turn off VPN. Turn off VPN. Okay. Turned off my VPN. Turned off my VPN. Let me close this incognito browser. Okay. Let me try it again in Chrome first. Try it. I have to copy the whole thing and make sure I'm not.
Work for me.
Look at that. Look at that, guys.
VPN to the jail.
See, this is why I love this session. Do you guys see this now? Troubleshooting here live. And again, this happens in real life. Things will not work 100% every time. You need to think. You need to think. What could be wrong somewhere? What solved my case now, guys? I turned off my VPN. Okay? Now I'll turn it on later on and test again. Maybe that IP, I don't know, for some reason. But I can turn it on again. I get a new IP and test, and it should probably work. Sorry?
Can I quickly add something?
Add. Yes, that's what this is for. Yes, go ahead, add.
Yeah, so if you're working with your VPN on,
yeah,
the IP address you'll be getting with respect to whatever you're doing on AWS will be different to when you switch it off.
Right. So
that might, in effect, affect
what you're doing as well.
Right. If I understand what you mean correctly, but you know that for my server, just to make sure you know that for my server it will not change, right? The IP for my actual server will not change, right? This is just my own computer, not my server. Is what I'm saying clear? This IP will always remain.
Okay.
This will always remain.
I am thinking of where you are editing the inbound and outbound routes.
Right.
You cannot SSH.
Oh yeah, yeah. Of course, yeah. I have to update that. Yeah, to what my new IP will be. Okay. All right, guys.
Correct.
All right. Great job, guys. Oh, 12 messages. Let's see. What do you guys have? Please send the link. Yes, I'll send it. Usually I upload the videos sometime tonight or tomorrow. I'm actually on paternity leave now for a couple of weeks, so I should be able to do those. VPN blocked me one from more than 30 minutes before I could discover it was VPN. Right. Solutions architects. Yay. Teet. Yes. Who else? Amani. All right. Thank you, guys. If you have, I can take one more question. Usually we go, a little. We're at 12:03. I think I can take one more. Anybody has any questions so far about what we did today? The troubleshooting aspect. Anything about Route53? Any questions or project you're working on the job? You want to get an idea about something? Go ahead. Okay, Ronnie, go ahead.
So, what's the advantage to manage the zone in Route 53 versus use, the third party? Because I have my domain in GoDaddy, right? So, but I could manage the zone either way. But what's the advantage if I use Route 53 to manage the zone?
So one of the advantages is you would see when we create AWS Certificate Manager, now our website is not secure, right? We're using just HTTP. This is not the one I want. Does it work now? Yes. It's HTTP, it's not HTTPS, right? So when you create that certificate, AWS can automatically create it in your domain that you have in Route53, right? It can automatically, what's the right word here? Once you create a certificate, right, it can map it to your domain that you have in Route53 with just one click of a button, right? With just one click of a button. Now, the way I've done it all of this while is I was using is it Google before as my domain or GoDaddy? I can't really remember. But then when I was testing some things out, there were some extra steps I had to do, right? I had to go to my my DNS host, and then change some records in there before I can get it to work, right? If I change the NS records, I have to make sure it matches in my DNS provider, right? So I have to keep going between both, right? But when you have it once in AWS Route53, integrations with other services, like sometimes just a click of a button will help you get something set up quickly, right? Rather than having to jump between browsers and go to GoDaddy and come back and change a record here and change it there and make sure they're matching every time, right? Now, so everything you just have it in one console, and it just makes things easier, Ronnie. I think that's to put it in simple terms, it just makes life easier, okay? But
Sure.
it's not a lot of work, of course, to log into GoDaddy and then come back and then but at the end of the day, I would recommend you do this, right? Bring your domain to AWS, okay? And then just make things easier from there, all right? GoDaddy to Route53, something like that. Okay, making AWS has right here. Okay, making Amazon Route53 DNS service for an existing domain that you have maybe with Google, or you have with what do you call it, GoDaddy or Google. Okay, all right, guys. Rotimi, I need your contact, please. Again. I don't have anything else to add today, guys. Great job. How many people on the chat? 31. If there's no more questions, thank you guys for joining this session. Next week, I plan on making this HTTPS. Okay? Next week, I plan on making this HTTPS. Okay? You guys can go and read about it for now. It's called AWS Certificate Manager. Okay? AWS Certificate Manager. We're gonna buy a certificate that we're gonna use to say we are who we say we are. Okay, if you know all about how SSL works, It's all about, verifying and validating that, you are who you say you are, put an address, put a name and all that. We're going to get a certificate in AWS, and then we're going to use it behind our load balancers or our, what do you call it? Our servers, whatever we need it for, okay? So we want to make this, at the end of the day, the goal is to go to HTTPS, okay? Start building things in a more secure fashion. If there are no questions, can we remove this hosted? Yes, let's remove it, please. Remove the hosted. I wouldn't say remove the hosted zone. Delete the resources. Oh, actually, hosted zone can cost you money. That's right. You can delete the hosted zone. Yeah, hosted zone can cost you money. So you can delete it and then create it next time when you need it, guys. Okay. So you can delete it. Yeah, you can delete it. As to yes. Who else? Any other questions? Otherwise, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you all, and I hope to see you all join me next Sunday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. US Eastern Time. I'm so happy we actually got this to work. All right. Thank you guys. Take care. All right. Take care and have a great rest of your week. All right. Thank you.